Hello students, let us continue chapter 12 ratio and proportion. In the previous class we discussed about proportion and solved 3 questions of exercise 12.2. Let us continue exercise 12.2. Question number 4. Determine if the following ratios form a proportion. Also write the middle terms and extreme terms where the ratios form a proportion. Part A. 25 centimeter is to 1 meter and for rupees 40 is to rupees 160. In this question we have to determine whether the ratios form a proportion or not. If they form a proportion, we need to write the middle terms and the extreme terms, which we have already discussed. वेयर द रेशियोज फॉर्म अ प्रपोर्शन, इसका मतलब क्या है, जहाँ पर प्रपोर्शन होगा वहीं पे हमें मिडिल टर्म और एक्सट्रीम टर्म बताना है. अगर प्रपोर्शन में नहीं होगा तो मिडिल टर्म और एक्सट्रीम टर्म हमें नहीं बताना है. सो यहाँ पे रेशियोज इक्वल चेक करेंगे just like the previous questions. So here we are given 25 centimeter is to 1 meter. 1 meter can be written as 100 centimeter. So this is 25 centimeter is to 100 centimeter. ठीक है, इस तरह से हम लोग इसको लिखेंगे तो दिस कैन बी रिटन एज 25/100 which can be further reduced. In the similar manner we can write this as 40/160. On dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor, we will get the required ratio. If both the ratios are equal, then they are in proportion. Otherwise, they are not in proportion. 25 centimeter is to 1 meter is equal to 25 centimeter is to 100 centimeter, because we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. तो यहाँ पे 25 centimeter is to 100 centimeter हो जाएगा the given ratio, which can be written as 25/100. Dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor, we get the equivalent ratio 1/4. Next, rupees 40 is to rupees 160 is equal to 40/160, which is equal to 40/160 divided by their highest common factor 40. तो यहाँ पे भी we get the ratio as 1:4. We get the ratio as 1:4. Therefore, the two ratios are equal. Since 25/100 is equal to 40/160. What does this mean? Why is this true? Why is this true? Because 1/4 is equal to 1/4. You can write this in the reason. This is also equal to 1/4 and 40/160 is also equal to 1/4. Therefore, 25, 100, 40, 160 form a proportion. It is similar to question number 1. But यहाँ पे हम लोगों को middle terms और extreme terms पूछे हैं, which we have already discussed. The middle terms will be 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter क्या है? 1 meter. So we can write 1 meter and 40 rupees. And the extreme terms will be, जो extreme ends पे है, 25 centimeter and 160 rupees. Once again, जो middle term है, ये वाले terms, these are the middle terms. 1 meter 100 centimeter है तो हम इसे लिख सकते हैं 1 meter, क्योंकि question में 1 meter दिया हुआ है, and rupees 40, and these are the extreme terms 25 centimeter and rupees 160. So in this way you need to write the solution in your notebook. So just like we solved part A, you need to solve part B. 39 liters is to 65 liters, which can be written as 39/65. You need to find the highest common factor and divide the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor, and you will get the ratio. If this ratio is equal to the ratio of 6/10, then the ratios are equal and they form a proportion. So how will you find out? You need to solve this question on your own in order to find out whether they are in proportion, whether they form a proportion or not. अगर proportion form करते हैं तो आपको middle terms और extreme terms find करने हैं, just like we did for part A. So part B is homework for you. Part C, 2 kilogram is to 80 kilogram and 25 gram is to 65 gram. We need to determine whether they form a proportion or not. Let us see the solution to find out. We know that 2 kilogram is to 80 kilogram is equal to 2 upon 80. We can write this like this. Now what we are going to do is we are going to divide the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor, which is 2 in this case. So this will be equal to 1 upon 40. This is the simplest form. Next we have 25 gram is to 625 gram, which we can write as 25 upon 625. So here also हम लोग इसको simplest form में लिख रहे हैं by dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor, which in this case is 25. 25 divided by 25 is equal to 1. 625 को जब 25 से divide करेंगे we will get 25 itself. So this is equal to 1 upon 25. तो यहाँ पे 1 upon 40 है and 1 upon 25 है इसका रेशियो. Since 1 upon 40 is not equal to 1 upon 25, we can say that 2 upon 80 is not equal to 25 upon 625. यानी कि यहाँ पे the ratios are not equal. Since the two ratios are not equal, 2, 80, 25, 625 are not in proportion. Very easy. तो यहाँ पे proportion में ही नहीं है तो हम middle term और extreme terms जो है वो find नहीं करेंगे because the two ratios are not equal. Equivalent forms जो है वो आपस में equal नहीं है. तो यहाँ पे these four numbers are or these four quantities are not in proportion. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. In the next part, you are given 25 milliliter is to 2.5 liter. Now, there is a conversion necessary for this. Here we know that 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. 1 liter में कितने milliliters होते हैं? 1000 milliliter. So, here in place of 2.5 liter, 2.5 liter will be equal to 2.5 multiplied by 1000 and this will be in milliliter. So when you multiply 2.5 with 1000, you get 2500 milliliter. सो यहाँ पे 2.5 लीटर जो है वो 2500 मिलीलीटर के इक्वल है. जैसे हमने फर्स्ट पार्ट में कन्वर्ट किया था मीटर को सेंटीमीटर में, वैसे ही यहाँ पे हम लोग लीटर को मिलीलीटर में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं. सो 200 मिलीलीटर इज़ टू 2.5 लीटर एंड here you are given rupees 4 is to rupees 50. So what will be the ratios? It will be 200 milliliter upon 2500 milliliter. And here this will simply be 4 upon 50. तो यहाँ पे आप लोगों को you need to find the simplest form of these ratios by dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor. If the ratios are equal, then the quantities are in proportion. So you can find the middle term and the extreme terms. So यहाँ पे आपको इसका simplest form find करना है और यहाँ पर भी simplest form find करके जो ratios है वो equal है या नहीं ये check करना है. अगर equal है then these are in proportion, they form a proportion. If the ratios are not equal, they do not form a proportion. So these two questions, part B and part D, are similar to part A and part C, which we discussed. So part B and part D are homework for you. You need to solve these questions on your own and write the proper solution in your notebook. Let us now discuss the next method, unitary method. The method in which first we find the value of one unit and then the value of required number of units is known as unitary method. Here we are given the meaning of this method. इस method में क्या करेंगे हम लोग? पहले value find करेंगे एक unit का and then we will find the value of the required number of units. Whatever required number of units are there, we will find their value, and this method is known as unitary method. अब इस मेथड को अच्छे से समझने के लिए एक एग्जाम्पल कंसिडर कर लेते हैं. Example 11. If the cost of 6 cans of juice is rupees 210, then what will be the cost of 4 cans of juice? अब इस क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे तो यहाँ पे हमें 6 cans of juice का कॉस्ट दिया है रुपीज़ 210. हमसे पूछ रहे हैं कि 4 cans of juice का कॉस्ट क्या होगा. अब हमें 6 cans of juice का कॉस्ट पता है, इससे हम 1 can of juice का कॉस्ट पता कर सकते हैं. Since cost of 6 cans of juice is rupees 210, therefore cost of 1 can of juice will be 210 divided by 6. This is how we find the cost of 1 when many is given to us. So यहाँ पे 6 दिया हुआ है, 6 cans of juice का कॉस्ट दिया हुआ है, तो यहाँ पे हम 6 से डिवाइड करेंगे. सो हियर व्हेन वी डिवाइड वी गेट रुपीज़ 35. यानी कि अगर आपको शॉप से एक कैन जूस का ख़रीदने जाना है तो आपको कितने पैसे पे करने पड़ेंगे, रुपीज़ 35. अब आपको कितने कैंस का कॉस्ट फाइंड करना है, 4 कैंस का. एक कैन का 35 है तो 4 कैंस का क्या होगा, इट विल बी 35 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 4. वेरी सिंपल. सो वी विल गेट 140. Thus the cost of 4 cans of juice is rupees 140. तो यहाँ पे क्या किया, पहले तो हमने 1 यूनिट का प्राइस फाइंड किया. वी फाउंड द वैल्यू ऑफ 1 यूनिट and then we found the value of the required number of units. This method is known as unitary method. अब इस क्वेश्चन में हमें 6 cans का कॉस्ट दिया हुआ था, फाइंड करना था 4 कैंस का कॉस्ट. डायरेक्टली फाइंड कर नहीं सकते तो हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे 1 यूनिट का कॉस्ट फाइंड करेंगे एंड देन वी विल फाइंड द कॉस्ट ऑफ रिक्वायर्ड नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स. सो यूजिंग दिस मेथड वी कैन फाइंड द वैल्यू of the required number of units by finding the value of 1 unit. This method is known as unitary method. Let us now begin exercise 12.3. Question number 1. If the cost of 7 meter of cloth is rupees 1470, find the cost of 5 meter of cloth. So this question is very much similar to example 11 which we have discussed just now. Here we are given the cost of 7 meter of cloth. 7 meter cloth का cost जो है that is 1470. So with this we can find the cost of 1 meter of cloth. It will be 1470 divided by 7. Then we will get the cost of 1 meter of cloth. Then using this we can find the cost of 5 meter of cloth. The cost of 7 meter cloth is equal to rupees 1470. Therefore, the cost of 1 meter cloth will be equal to rupees 1470 divided by 7. This will be the cost of 1 meter cloth. क्योंकि यहाँ पे 7 meter दिया हुआ है, we have to pay rupees 1470 for 7 meter cloth. So 1 meter cloth के लिए हम लोग कैसे फाइंड करेंगे प्राइस, by dividing it with 7. तो 1470 divided by 7. When you divide, this will be equal to rupees 210. So rupees 210 is the cost of 1 meter of cloth. Therefore, the cost of 5 meter cloth will be equal to rupees 210 multiplied by 5. अब 5 से मल्टीप्लाई क्यों किया, अगर 1 मीटर खरीदना है तो कितना पे करना पड़ेगा, रुपीज़ 210. तो 5 मीटर के लिए क्या करेंगे, 1 मीटर के लिए इतना है तो 5 मीटर के लिए कितना, तो 1 मीटर का जो कॉस्ट है मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 5. वेरी सिंपल. 1 का कॉस्ट हमें पता है, मैनी का फाइंड करना है तो हम क्या करेंगे, मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. मैनी का कॉस्ट अगर हमें पता है, हमें 1 का फाइंड करना है तो हम डिवाइड करेंगे. ये कंसेप्ट में बिल्कुल कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. सो हियर वी आर गिवन द कॉस्ट ऑफ 1 मीटर क्लॉथ विच वी जस्ट फाउंड आउट इज रुपीज़ 210. Therefore, the cost of 5 meter cloth will be equal to rupees 210 multiplied by 5. When you do the calculation, you will get rupees 1050. This is the cost of 5 meter of cloth. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 2. Ekta earns rupees 3000 in 10 days. How much will she earn in 30 days? Again, in this question, we are given the money earned by Ekta in 10 days, which is rupees 3000. So, how much will be the money earned by her in one day? It will be equal to 3000 divided by 10. So, यहाँ पे we will get the money earned by her in one day, which is rupees 300. So, यहाँ पे one day में अगर 300 है, so how much will she earn in 30 days? Let us see the solution to find out. In this question, we are given in 10 days, Ekta earns rupees 1500. Therefore, in one day, Ekta earns rupees 1500 divided by 10. Very simple. Many days यानी 10 days का दिया हुआ है, वन डे का फाइंड करने के लिए क्या करेंगे, जो रुपीस है डिवाइडेड बाय 10. सो दिस विल बी इक्वल टू रुपीस 150. ठीक है, 150 रुपीज इज अर्नड बाय एकता इन वन डे. हाउ मच डेज आर वी आस्क्ड इन द क्वेश्चन? वी आर आस्क्ड फॉर 30 days. Therefore, in 30 days, Ekta will earn rupees 150 multiplied by 30. अब यहाँ पे one day for one day, in one day she earns rupees 150. Therefore, in 30 days, she will earn rupees 150 multiplied by 30. 1 का पता है, 30 का फाइंड करना है, तो 30 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. So, when you multiply this with 30, you will get 4500. Therefore, in 30 days, Ekta will earn rupees 4500. This question was very simple. 10 days का दिया हुआ था. 1 day का फाइंड करने के लिए 10 से डिवाइड करेंगे. 1 day की अर्निंग पता चल गई, तो 30 days के लिए क्या करेंगे, 1 day's अर्निंग मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 30. अगर 50 days का पूछा होता तो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 50 करते. So, in this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 3. If it has rained, Question number 3. If it has rained 276 mm in the last 3 days, how many centimeter of rain will fall in one full week, that is 7 days? Assume that the rain continues to fall at the same rate. Here we are given that it has rained 276 millimeter in the last 3 days. Okay, last 3 days में 276 millimeter rainfall हुआ है. So 1 day में हम लोग कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. For 1 day it will be 276 divided by 3. So you will get the rainfall for 1 day. So when you divide 276 with 3, you will get 92. So this is in mm, millimeter. So यहाँ पे आप लोगों को 1 day में जो रेनफॉल है वो मिल गया. अभी क्या करना है, you are asked the rainfall for 7 days. If for 1 day it is 92 mm, this is for 1 day. ठीक है, ये 1 day के लिए है 92 mm. Then for 7 days, how will we find out? This will be equal to 92 multiplied by 7 mm. So when you multiply this, you will get 644. This is the answer in millimeter. ठीक है, 644 millimeter is the answer. But you are asked how many centimeter, कितने सेंटीमीटर रेनफॉल होंगे 7 days में जो है. In 7 days you will get 644 millimeter of rainfall. ये अभी अभी हमने फाइंड किया, बट हमें आंसर चाहिए सेंटीमीटर में. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. That's correct. Okay, so यहाँ पे to convert millimeter into centimeter we will divide with 10. So this will be equal to 644 upon 10 centimeter. So when you divide this with 10 you will get 64.4 centimeter. ठीक है, तो ये रीज़न है बिकॉज 1 सेंटीमीटर इज इक्वल टू 10 मिलीमीटर. सो यहाँ पे आप लोग को 7 डेज़ में 64.4 सेंटीमीटर रेनफॉल मिलेगा. तो क्या किया, यहाँ पे यूनिटरी मेथड अप्लाई किया. 3 डेज़ का दिया हुआ था, तो इसको जब हम लोग डिवाइड बाय 3 करेंगे देन वी विल गेट द रेनफॉल फॉर 1 डे. देन यूजिंग दैट we found out the rainfall in centimeter for 1 week, which is equal to 7 days. So now that we have understood this question, question number 3 is homework for you. इसका proper solution आप लोग को लिखना है in your notebook on your own. Question number 4, cost of 5 kilogram of wheat is rupees 91.50. What will be the cost of 8 kilogram of wheat? B. What quantity of wheat can be purchased in rupees 183? So in this question you are given the cost of 5 kilogram of wheat. So यहाँ पे you can easily calculate the cost of 1 kilogram of wheat. It will be 91.50 divided by 5 rupees. तो यहाँ पे क्योंकि 5 किलोग्राम का दिया हुआ है इसलिए हम डिवाइडेड बाय 5 कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे आप लोगों को 1 किलोग्राम का कॉस्ट मिल जाएगा. देन यू कैन ईजिली फाइंड द कॉस्ट ऑफ 8 किलोग्राम ऑफ व्हीट. दिस इज सिमिलर टू द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस. हियर इन दिस बी पार्ट वी आर आस्क्ड व्हाट क्वांटिटी ऑफ व्हीट कैन बी परचेज्ड इन रुपीज 183. हाउ विल वी फाइंड दिस आउट? लेट अस सी द सॉल्यूशन. In the first part, you are given the cost of 5 kilogram of wheat. This is equal to rupees 91.50. इसका मतलब क्या है? 91 rupees and 50 पैसे. Therefore, the cost of 1 kilogram of wheat will be equal to rupees 91.50 divided by 5. 5 किलोग्राम का दिया हुआ है. 1 किलोग्राम का कॉस्ट फाइंड करने के लिए हम उसको 5 से डिवाइड करेंगे. सो व्हेन यू डिवाइड दिस विथ 5 यू गेट रुपीज 18.30. Therefore, the cost of 8 kilogram of wheat will be equal to rupees 18.30 multiplied by 8. 1 किलोग्राम के लिए आपको इतने पैसे देने पड़ेंगे, तो 8 किलोग्राम ऑफ व्हीट के लिए कितने पैसे देने पड़ेंगे? तो जितना पैसा 1 किलोग्राम का है उसको मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 8 कर देंगे. देन वी विल गेट द कॉस्ट ऑफ 8 किलोग्राम ऑफ व्हीट. सो व्हेन यू मल्टीप्लाई दीज टू यू विल गेट द आंसर which is rupees 146.40. So for 8 kilogram of wheat you need to pay rupees 146.40. In this way you need to write the solution in your notebook. In the next part you are asked to find the quantity of wheat कैन बी परचेज्ड इन रुपीज़ 183. यानी कि अगर आपके पास 183 रुपीज़ है तो आप कितनी क्वांटिटी ऑफ व्हीट खरीद सकते हैं, कितने किलोग्राम ऑफ व्हीट खरीद सकते हैं. दिस इज़ द क्वेश्चन. तो सबसे पहले पता कर लेते हैं कि आपके पास अगर 1 रुपीज़ है तब आप कितने किलोग्राम्स ऑफ व्हीट खरीद सकते हैं. ओके, द क्वांटिटी ऑफ व्हीट बॉट फॉर रुपीज़ 91.50 इज इक्वल टू 5 किलोग्राम. ठीक है, अगर आपके पास इतने पैसे हैं तो आप 5 किलोग्राम व्हीट खरीद सकते हैं. ये आपको ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है. तो अगर आपके पास 1 रुपीज़ है सो यू विल डिवाइड 5 विथ 91.50 किलोग्राम. यानी कि यहाँ पे आपको मैनी का दिया हुआ है, आपको 1 का फाइंड करना है. ठीक है, सेम सिनेरियो. देयरफॉर द क्वांटिटी ऑफ व्हीट बॉट फॉर ₹1 विल बी इक्वल टू 5 upon 91.50 kilogram. So here you don't need to solve this. because you will be solving it while multiplying it with 183. अब 183 से क्यों multiply करेंगे? Because you need to find the quantity of wheat you can buy for rupees 183. Therefore, for rupees 183, the quantity of wheat bought is equal to 5 upon 91.50. ये क्या है? This is the quantity of wheat you can buy for rupees 1. For rupees 1, you can buy this quantity of wheat. So for rupees 183, 1 रुपीज़ में कितना मिलेगा उसको आप मल्टीप्लाई कर लोगे 183 से. प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस जैसा ही है, फ़र्क सिर्फ इतना है कि यहाँ पे हमने इसको अभी सॉल्व नहीं किया है. तो यहाँ पे जब हम इसको सॉल्व करेंगे, यू कैन राइट दिस बिलो 183. सो यहाँ पे 91.50 will be dividing 183. Because it is in the multiplication form, you can write it in this way also. You will get the same answer. Now, when you divide 91.5, this is equal to 183 upon 91.5 because this is 0 after the decimal point. तो यहाँ पे 91.5 को जब 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो आपको 183 मिलेगा. सो दैट इज दिस इज़ 1 सा एंड दिस इज़ 2 सा. यू कैन ट्राई मल्टीप्लाइंग 91.5 विथ 2, यू विल गेट 183. सो यहाँ पे 1 सा एंड 2 सा, सो दिस इज इक्वल टू 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 2. 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 2, इट इज़ इक्वल टू 10. सो 10 kilogram. Once again, here the quantity of wheat bought for rupees 91.50 is given to you 5 kilogram. ठीक है. Therefore the quantity of wheat bought for rupees 1 के लिए कितना मिलेगा उसके लिए क्या करेंगे, इसको 5 से डिवाइड कर लेंगे. सो यहाँ पे 5 डिवाइडेड बाय 91.50 किलोग्राम. क्योंकि 50 है तो हम इस ज़ीरो को इग्नोर भी कर सकते हैं. For rupees 183, the quantity of wheat bought is equal to 5 upon 91.50 multiplied by 183. 1 rupees में जितना quantity मिलेगा multiplied by the quantity we require, the number we require, which is 183. So this will be equal to 5 multiplied by 183 divided by 91.50. तो यहाँ पे 5 के डिवाइड में करेंगे, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 183 है, या फिर 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 183 डिवाइडेड बाय 91.50 है, तो भी इट इज़ द सेम केस बिकॉज इट इज़ मल्टीप्लिकेशन. So when you divide 183 with 91.50, this is equal to dividing 183 with 91.5. क्योंकि यहाँ पे 0 है तो आप इसको इग्नोर करके 91.5 से भी डिवाइड कर सकते हो. तो यहाँ पे 183 को जब आप 91.5 से डिवाइड करेंगे, then you will get 1 and 2. That is when you multiply 91.5 with 2, you get 183. So this is equal to 5 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 10 kilogram. Therefore, 10 kilogram of wheat can be purchased for rupees 183. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 5. The temperature dropped 15 degrees Celsius in last 30 days. If the rate of temperature drop remains the same, how many degrees will the temperature drop in the next 10 days? So in this question, you are given that the temperature dropped in degree Celsius, 15 degree Celsius जो है वो last 30 days में temperature drop हुआ है. So using this data, you can easily find the drop of temperature in 1 day. कि कितना होगा 1 डे में, क्योंकि 30 डेज में 15 है तो 1 डे में इट विल बी 15 डिवाइडेड बाय 30. दिस इज द टेम्परेचर ड्रॉप इन 1 डे. सो यूजिंग दिस, इसमें आंसर क्या मिलेगा, इट विल बी 1/2. सो हाफ डिग्री इज ड्रॉप्ड इन 1 डे. सो हाउ मेनी डिग्रीज विल बी ड्रॉप्ड इन 10 डेज, उसके लिए क्या करेंगे, आप लोगों को 1/2 को मल्टीप्लाई करना है 10 से. So here 2 1s and 2 5s. You will get this as 5 upon 1, which is equal to 5. So 5 degrees will be dropped in 10 days. The temperature drop in 30 days is equal to 15 degrees. This is given to us. Therefore, the temperature drop in 1 day will be 15 divided by 30. यहाँ पे 30 है, इसीलिए हम यहाँ पे 30 से divide करेंगे. So, when we solve this, we get 1/2. Because the highest common factor of 15 and 30, this is equal to 15 upon 30 divided by the highest common factor. What is the highest common factor? It is 15 itself. So, this is equal to 1/2 degrees. The temperature drop in 10 days. ये 1 day के लिए है, तो 10 day के लिए क्या होगा? This multiplied by 10. So, here 2 ones are and 2 5s are, which is equal to 5 degrees. Therefore, in the next 10 days, the temperature drop will be 5 degrees. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 6. Shaina pays rupees 15,000 as rent for 3 months. How much does she has to pay for a whole year if the rent per month remains same? In this question, we are given the money paid by Shaina as rent for 3 months. It is rupees 15,000. So, from this data, we can easily calculate rent paid by her for 1 month. अगर 3 months के लिए, if it is 15,000, then for 1 month, the rent will be equal to 15,000 divided by 3. So, you can calculate the rent for 1 month. Next, what do you have to calculate? You have to calculate how much does she pay for a whole year. यानी कि 1 साल के लिए कितने पैसे रेंट में पे करने पड़ेंगे. This is what you have to calculate. Now, from this we can say that for 1 month, she has to pay rupees 5,000. ठीक है, here we can easily solve this. 3 5s are and the zeros as it is. So, here 5,000 rupees is what she pays as rent for 1 month. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे whole year यानी कि 1 year के लिए, 1 year में कितने months होते हैं? 1 year has 12 months. Okay, so in order to calculate the rent for 1 year, you need to calculate the rent for 12 months. अब 1 month का you have to pay rupees 5,000. This is given. From this data you have already calculated this. So, for 12 months, what you will have to do is you will have to multiply this amount with 12. ठीक है, अगर 1 month के लिए इतना पे करना है तो 12 month के लिए इतने को multiplied by 12 करेंगे. So, you will get the money she will have to pay for the whole year. The rent Shaina has to pay for the whole year will be equal to rupees 5,000 multiplied by 12. This will be equal to rupees 60,000. So, this question is similar to the previous questions we solved. Very easy to calculate. The steps will also remain same. So, you need to write the proper solution on your own in your notebook for question number 6. So, question number 6 is homework for you. Question number 7. Cost of 4 dozen bananas is rupees 180. How many bananas can be purchased for rupees 90? So, in this question, you are given the cost of 4 dozen bananas. You already know that 1 dozen means 12 bananas. So, 4 dozen means 4 multiplied by 12 bananas. Numbers की बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. 1 डजन जब हम कहते हैं उसका मतलब होता है 12 pieces, 12 numbers. So, here 4 dozen bananas means 4 multiplied by 12, which is equal to 48 bananas. So, 48 bananas cost rupees 180. So, you are asked how many bananas can you purchase for rupees 90? To find out, let us see the solution. So, just like I explained, 1 dozen bananas is equal to 12 bananas. Therefore, 4 dozen bananas is equal to 48 bananas. कॉस्ट ऑफ 48 बनानास इज इक्वल टू ₹180. दिस इज गिवन टू अस. इसका मतलब क्या है? फॉर ₹180 नंबर ऑफ बनानास परचेज इज इक्वल टू 48. अगर 48 बनानास 180 रुपीज़ में है, इसका मतलब यही होता है ना कि 180 रुपीज़ में आपको 48 बनानास मिलेंगे. वेरी सिंपल. सो 180 रुपीज़ में 48 बनानास मिलेंगे तो 1 रुपीज़ में कितने मिलेंगे? Therefore, for 1 rupees, the number of bananas that can be purchased is equal to 48 divided by 180. यहाँ पे 180 रुपीज़ है, उसमें हमें 48 मिल रहे हैं, तो 1 रुपीज़ के लिए क्या करेंगे? In order to find the number of bananas that we can purchase for 1 rupees, we will have to divide 48 with 180. So 48 divided by 180. तो यहाँ पे we need to divide the numerator and the denominator with the highest common factor. In this case it is 12. So when we divide 48 and 180 with 12, we get 4 upon 15. So this is the number of bananas we get for 1 rupees. Therefore for 90 rupees, 1 rupees के लिए इतना है, तो 90 rupees के लिए कितना? For 90 rupees, the number of bananas that can be purchased will be equal to this multiplied by 90. ठीक है, 1 रुपीज़ में जितने बनानास मिलेंगे उसको मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे 90 से, देन वी विल गेट द नंबर ऑफ बनानास दैट कैन बी परचेज फॉर 90 रुपीज़. सो दिस 15 ones and 15 6s. This will be equal to 4 multiplied by 6, which is equal to 24. Therefore 24 bananas can be purchased for ₹90. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 8. The weight of 72 books is 9 kilogram. What is the weight of 40 such books? So in this question, you are given the weight of 72 books. So you can easily find the weight of one book. 72 books का weight अगर 9 किलोग्राम है तो 1 book का weight कितना होगा? 9 upon 72 kilogram. So you can easily calculate the weight of one book. Now you need to calculate the weight of 40 such books. So all you need to do is simplify this and then multiply the answer with 40. In order to understand this better, let us see the solution. In this question, we are given the weight of 72 books, which is equal to 9 kilogram. Therefore, the weight of one book is equal to 9 divided by 72 kilogram. Now, taking the highest common factor, dividing it, the numerator and the denominator with their highest common factors, we get this is equal to 1 upon 8 kilogram. That is, this is the weight of one book. एक बुक का वेट कितना होगा? इट इज़ 1 upon 8 किलोग्राम. Therefore the weight of 40 such books. ऐसे 40 बुक्स के लिए क्या वेट होगा? So for that we will multiply this with 40. ये क्या है? एक बुक की वेट है. So यहाँ पे आप लोगों को 40 बुक्स की वेट फाइंड करनी है, तो what will you do? You will multiply the weight of one book with the number, required number, which is 40. So here this will be equal to 5 kilogram. 8 ones are 8 5s are. So the weight of 40 such books is equal to 5 kilogram. In this way, you need to write the solution in your notebook. Question number 9. A truck requires 108 liters of diesel for covering a distance of 594 kilometers. How much diesel will be required by the truck to cover a distance of 1650 kilometers? Now as you can see, this question is very much similar to the questions we discussed earlier. यहाँ पे 108 liters petrol जो है that is required for covering a distance of 594. यानी कि diesel required for 594 kilometer is equal to 108 liters. So diesel required for 1 kilometer, diesel required for 1 kilometer, it will be equal to 108 divided by 594. सो 1 किलोमीटर के लिए जो डीजल रिक्वायर्ड है वो कैसे फाइंड करेंगे? 108 डिवाइडेड बाय 594. So here you need to divide the numerator and the denominator with their highest common factor. So when you find the HCF, when you calculate the HCF of these two numbers, it will be 54. So when you divide these numbers with the 54, with the highest common factor 54, then you will get 2 upon 11. So 2 upon 11 liters of petrol is required for covering a distance of 1 kilometer. So what is asked in the question? How much diesel will be required by the truck to cover a distance of 1650 kilometer? Now 1 किलोमीटर के लिए 2 upon 11 है, तो 1650 किलोमीटर के लिए you will require this multiplied by 1650. All you need to do is solve this and you will get the quantity of diesel that is required to cover a distance of 1650. So you need to make this calculation and you will get the answer in liters. ठीक है, लीटर्स में आपको आंसर मिलेगा. जो भी इसका सॉल्यूशन है, जो भी इसका आंसर है, that much liters of diesel is required to cover a distance of 1650. Now since we have discussed this question, all you need to do is find the answer by multiplying, by calculating, and write the proper solution in your notebook of question number 9. Question number 10. Raju purchases 10 pens for rupees 150 and Manish buys 7 pens for rupees 84. Can you see who got the pens cheaper? So in this question you are given the cost of 10 pens purchased by Raju. So 10 pens खरीदने के लिए राजू को पे करने पड़े 150 rupees. So for 1 pen how much money did he had to pay? For 1 pen he had to pay rupees 150 divided by 10 which is equal to rupees 15. तो राजू जो पेन लेके आए हैं उसके लिए he had to pay rupees 15. Now let us consider Manish. Manish buys 7 pens for 84. So in this case the cost of 1 pen will be equal to rupees 84 divided by 7. So when you divide 84 with 7 you will get 12. So rupees 12 is the cost of the pen that Manish bought and the cost of the pen Raju purchased is equal to rupees 15. ठीक है. So rupees 15 और rupees 12 के बीच आपको comparison करना है क्योंकि Raju purchased it for rupees 15 and Manish purchased the pen for rupees 12. Since 12 is less than 15, now you can say who got the pens cheaper? Manish bought the pens cheaper. In this way you need to write the solution in your notebook. Money paid by Raju for 10 pens is rupees 150. तो 1 pen के लिए 150 divided by 10. You already know this. So 15 rupees is money paid by Raju for 1 pen. एक pen के लिए money paid by Raju is rupees 15. Money paid by Manish for 7 pens is equal to rupees 84. Money paid by Manish for 7 pens is equal to rupees 84. Therefore, money paid by Manish for 1 pen, एक pen के लिए 84 divided by 7 which is equal to 12. Now, since 12 is less than 15, Manish got the pens cheaper. Manish को जो pen मिले वो सस्ते मिल गए. In this way, you need to write the solution. Question number 11. Anish made 42 runs in 6 overs and Anoop made 63 runs in 7 overs. Who made more runs per over? So in this question you are given that Anish जो है 6 ओवर में 42 runs made करता है, स्कोर करता है and Anoop made 63 runs in 7 overs. This is given to us. What are we asked? Who made more runs? इन दोनों में से ज़्यादा runs किसने स्कोर किए हैं? सो यहाँ पे 6 ओवर में अगर 42 runs हैं, सो 1 ओवर के लिए you can easily calculate the number of runs scored by him. This is equal to 7. So Anish made 7 runs in 1 over. On the other hand, for Anup, since he makes 63 runs in 7 overs, 7 overs में he made 63 runs, so 1 over के लिए he will make 63 divided by 7, which is equal to 9 runs. So अनूप जो है वो एक ओवर में 9 रन स्कोर करता है, बट अनीश जो है he scores 7 runs. Now you know that 9 is greater than 7. Therefore, who made more runs per over? पर ओवर पूछा है, यानी कि एक ओवर में ज़्यादा रन कौन स्कोर करता है? सो इट इज़ अनूप. अनूप मेड more runs per over. Here we are given runs made by Anish in 6 overs, which is 42 runs. So runs made by Anish in 1 over will be 42 divided by 6. ठीक है, 42 रन स्कोर किए हैं 6 ओवर में, तो एक ओवर के लिए क्या करेंगे? 42 डिवाइडेड बाय 6 विच इज़ इक्वल टू 7 रन्स. सो दिस इज द रन्स मेड बाय अनीश इन 1 ओवर. Runs made by Anup in 7 overs is equal to 63 runs. 7 ओवर में 63 है, तो 1 ओवर में कितना? 63 divided by 7 which is equal to 9 runs. We know that 9 is greater than 7. Therefore, Anup made more runs per over. क्योंकि एक ओवर में अनूप 9 रन्स बनाता है, अनीश जो है एक ओवर में 7 रन्स बनाता है, तो यहाँ पे 9 इज ग्रेटर दैन 7, इसलिए अनूप मेड मोर रन्स पर ओवर. इन दिस वे यू नीड टू राइट द सॉल्यूशन इन योर नोटबुक.